Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to Wrestling Rant 58. Yes, I've started doing proper rants again for the first time in a while. This is going to be a bit weird. Nonetheless, this is a little video that starts off a little project I'm doing this entire week called Wrestling Rant Week. That's right, for every single day this week. Well, starting tomorrow, technically, I have 7 videos doing. One every day on a different subject. Now, this is just a normal rant. And if you, of course, didn't watch my last couple of videos, you have no idea what this is about. There's a WWE wrestler who has been making his rounds since April and progressively built an undefeated streak. And you'd hear those eerie chants of Goldberg, but we know he isn't him. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is about Ryback. And I honestly have to ask the old and faithful question: what the hell is the point to Ryback? Because honestly, Skip Sheffield in the Nexus, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the character. It was a bit flea-brained, but at least he had the ability and the pace to make him a bit different from the slightly heavier heavyweights on the roster. I thought the guy had decent potential. Of course, that got ruined, if you don't remember, by him busting his ankle out during a house show. The Nexus angle kind of went downhill since he left it, you know what I mean? If you watched it, you kind of get my drift. After spending best part of a year and a half off, came back as Ryback in April this year. Of course, he blew the appearance on Twitter first. Honestly, the first reaction a lot of people gave is he looks like Goldberg in RVD's leotard. Or singlet, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, every time I've seen Ryback wrestle, it's been relatively the same. He's gone in the ring with a small cruiserweight or light heavyweight or a heavyweight, which isn't technically a heavyweight because they're not muscly heavyweights, if you get my drift. These guys are tiny, and he's basically flattened them. He's flattened the tag team like Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins. He's flattened Jinder Mahal. He's flattened through just about everyone on the roster who you could technically consider a jobber, bar Heath Slater. Because to be honest with you, he needs to beat him. He beat Jack Swagger too. So, people at the minute, WWE, if I was a casual fan, watching a guy with an undefeated streak coming out to squish people, I'd be impressed. Because honestly, you see guys lose, and if a casual fan, if they lose, they immediately have a lack of credibility for you to support them. And that's for a casual fan, I can see that being very essential. For an insider, for a smark like me, I don't know if I can call myself a smark, that's up to you guys to confirm that for me. I would never really think Ryback is a major success. And honestly, just by looking at him, I can understand why. One, very little mic work. And to be honest with you, that's a big thing. And I was talking to NJ the other week, and he was kind of saying, oh, he liked the vignettes, the videos that popped up in the bottom corner of the screen in the middle of Ryback's run, where he basically just said, you know what, this guy annoys me, I'm going to beat him up and show him that I'm definitely worth it. That's fine. But the fact is, all Ryback does is he shouts, "Feed me more," repeatedly. To me, what does that say? Okay, the audience kind of can bring a sign saying "Feed me more" because it's a very nice catchphrase. But to be honest, for a gimmick like this, for a monster destroyer, you need a lot more than just a catchphrase. You need to be able to waffle on that mic stick, and you can get the crowd in the palm of your hands. Skip Sheffield has the mic ability. He can do it. It's just the gimmick is very limiting because he's kind of still a dimwit in a singlet, but he's at least demolishing people. That's one thing. But he needs to get over the reason why he's demolishing people, because that's the second point. His gimmick has no backstory. He's just a guy who goes in, flattens a guy, and leaves. Remember Stone Cold's t-shirt from 2007? Arrive, raise hell, leave. That's effectively what Ryback does. And that is very boring, especially if you're like me and you've watched a hell of a lot of Raws, and a lot of SmackDowns, a lot of pay-per-views even, between April and now. This is September. The gimmick has seen very little change. Okay, the theme music has obviously added some lyrics, but apart from that, we've seen nothing. No change. And that's really boring. Okay, sure, we've seen Cena do the same gimmick for 5 or so years. More than that, well, 2007, when he first really started going down this route, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's 6 years. People say that's boring. To be honest, it is. But at least he uses his mic skills and alters his t-shirts and various other stuff to make him slightly interesting. Actually, I would say his moveset too. Ryback. Okay. Ryback has done a few more power moves. He's had longer matches, but the gimmick really hasn't changed. The matches haven't really changed. And the character, if you could play a character the exact same for nearly half a year, for over half a year, people, that's boring. And Ryback, to me, is the definition of a wrestler going nowhere in conjunction with Brodus Clay. Because him and Brodus are very similar. Brodus and Ryback, very similar. Undefeated streak. Squashed people who, to be honest... Okay, Brodus at least squashed people who should have been better. Drew McIntyre being one. So, I would honestly say this. Brodus hasn't talked either. His matches have relatively remained the same. He's had comebacks, like Ryback when he's been pummeled a little bit. It's very samey. Okay, Raw has a big guy who can beat anybody. SmackDown has a guy who can beat anybody. Huzzah! It's a game of snap! But that's not what it really should be about. Ryback needs more. No. Not guys to be fed to him to beat. He needs a lot more. So does Brodus. It falls in the same category. And I said this in my Q&A video. But yeah, he needs better opponents. Okay, at the minute, Brodus Clay has that. He's got Damien fucking Sandow beating the crap out of him every week. Well, most weeks. And that's it. That's good. Seeing a guy like Sandow beat the crap out of a super heavyweight is impressive. It makes you take the guy seriously for a change. It makes you think that this guy is relatively good. Because if he can pummel a big guy and make him look like shit, you would get behind the guy. Well, if he's a heel, you boo the shit out of him even more. And for a casual fan, that is very important. That is the cornerstone for a rivalry. And to be honest, I'm amazed they haven't even done the match yet for that on pay-per-view. Ryback had Jinder Mahal. But the problem, again, I will say this. But the gimmick lacking progression is that it's a very bland face gimmick. At least Brodus you can tell is a face from the outset. Yeah, well, wait till the end of his match when he dances with the kids and you get my point. But with Ryback, he's got the aggression of a heel and the body language of a violent monster heel, but he's liked. And to me, that doesn't make sense. Because Ryback, to me, should be a destructive heel who just comes out of nowhere and beats the crap out of somebody because he's trying to make a point. And we won't know what that point is. He'll keep beating up people, and then he'll eventually unveil his point. Something like that. Something to give the gimmick a bit of a payoff. You know? I don't see him doing that anytime soon. But if he becomes a heel, Ryback can do anything. Ryback could become a legitimate threat to the World Championship on the undefeated streak he's been on. Because what was Brock Lesnar doing when he was undefeated? Oh yeah, I remember winning King of the Ring and then winning the WWE Championship in the space of a couple of months. Now, okay, that was a little rushed, and I can sense they don't want to do the same thing here. They want to build up a Goldberg-esque undefeated streak that will make the fans be interested in the guy, so then when either someone beats him or he wins something, it'll be useful in building the guy as, yeah, this guy's the real deal. He can beat anybody, and no one can touch him. But if someone beats him, they are important. He's been beaten, he'll recover from it. That's the kind of thing I feel they're going to do. But I don't think they should. Because to me, even the biggest guy has to be beaten sometime. Okay, Brock Lesnar, in his first run, lost to the Big Show in 5 minutes from interference from Paul Heyman. That was a cheap way to make him lose and turn him face at the same time. See, that's smart booking, people. That's Paul Heyman pulling the strings. See, Ryback can't go anywhere because his gimmick is just stagnant. He can't do anything. If he's fighting the same little chicken shits every week, with very little interactions with the crowd, with very little reason behind what he's doing, then his character just stands there like a statue. It's not really moving. And with a guy with such talent, as the guy formerly known as Skip Sheffield has, he needs more. And Again, we'll pick off the point that he has to start off with picking off guys his own size. I said it in my Q&A. Bro just needs to fight guys like Sheamus and Big Show. Okay, sure, he fought Big Show in a quick punching and he got whooped. But Ryback hasn't fought a guy his own size. He hasn't fought a heavyweight. He hasn't fought a guy who could test him. And that's something that I really want to see. Because Brodus is being tested, okay, by Damien Sandow, but he's quite massive. I think bridging the gap between light heavyweight and heavyweight to the point where he's a combination of both. He can do aerial moves, probably. I'm not guessing, but I've seen him do them before. The fact is, he needs someone who is a challenge to him. And Brodus has that in Sandow. Ryback needs that in someone else. Make it Sheamus, make it Big Show, make it Great Khali for all I fucking care. I don't care if it is Khali. I don't care if it's Cena. I don't care if it's Undertaker, Kane, anyone. Fuck, I'd even bring back Batista to try and take the guy down. Hell, if this would be interesting to reintroduce a Mason Ryan, or hell, take him to NXT. Take Ryback to NXT and make him take on Big E Langston. Because that would be interesting. I haven't seen anyone take that guy down on NXT yet. That would be interesting. So you see my point. In a boxing match, okay, you fight guys who are your same weight. You fight the guys who are in the same weight category, and if you beat them, it makes you look better. It makes you look stronger than the others. It makes you the top dog. If you beat a guy, you climb up the ladder. That's technically how wrestling, in a way, should work. But honestly, it doesn't, because you have light heavyweights going against super heavyweights, cruiserweights going against heavyweights. It's lopsided, and that's where the underdog storyline kicks in. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you know your wrestling, you'll definitely know what I mean. And that's the point. Because Ryback has fought the little chicken shits. And he's done nothing. He's whooped them. But that's about it. Okay, in a handicap match, he's against Tyler X and Kurt Hawkins, he got pegged back a little bit. But he still came back and whooped them. Same old story. Clean victory every time. I want to see a heavyweight take this man down. Because how am I ever going to be interested in Ryback? Every time a pay-per-view match of his comes on, I'm noting down 0. Because every match is the same. He's being pummeled a tiny bit, hits a massive clothesline, hits his marching backdrop. I'm not sure what to call the move. I've never fully gotten the proper name for it. And he then gets the cover for the win. I have to give a 0 every time because it's boring, predictable crap. Okay, it has a bit of storytelling element when the guy, the heel or heels, can beat him down for a while. That's why I gave that Ryback match with Hawkins and Rex at least quarter to half a star for that. Because it told a story. He had to kick out of a few moves. He was being pressured. And if Ryback can't do that, then the character is useless. And if you've got a character that's going nowhere, then anyone in their right mind would leave a company. But because Ryback is on TV, he's getting crowd reaction through a simple catchphrase. Because he's beating the jobbers, he's getting that reaction. And because of that, WWE thinks he's over. Because they're pushing him down our throat every single week for no legitimate reason. That's crap, isn't it? Brodus Clay I got sick of quickly, and to be honest, I'm still sick of him because every time the match ends, I have to endure that shit-faced of a dancing around with kids angle, which was a stupid idea. I was happy to just see him dance with Naomi and the other girl, I can never remember her name. Ryback just stands around, bobs his head, and just says, "Feed me more" all the time. Doesn't really give you any indication on the action and the inner feeling of that character. It doesn't make you feel like this guy has done what he's doing, he's calmed down a bit, he's going to walk back and just take a breather. Or he's demolished a guy, he's still looking bloody angry, and you thought, oh god, he could go backstage and tear someone's head off. You know, you don't see any different dimensions, and the character of Ryback is just going to falter and falter and falter until he gets better. Okay, there is a plus side. People could like the fact he could get beaten in a 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag match at Survivor Series. He could win the US title off Cesaro for a bit of legitimacy, maybe. Because, to be honest, he has more legitimacy for the title than Cesaro, even though I like Cesaro a lot. That says a lot for itself, really. He's going to get credibility when he wins the title. But in the way the Gimmick's going, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, either you push Ryback up, add more layers, or you just throw them into the trash and fire Skip Sheffield for an angle that really doesn't matter. Because honestly, I would rather see a guy with a shit angle who isn't going anywhere get fired than a guy for a political supporting rape joke combination. And that's my opinion here, people. Because I would rather see a good, talented worker whose moveset isn't being used enough, whose mic work isn't being used enough, whose talent in the ring generally isn't being used enough, because of a shit character get fired, then have AEW get fired for something completely different. And unless those changes are put in, I will keep asking the question, what is the point to Ryback? What is the point of Skip Sheffield taking the character on if he knows he isn't going anywhere with it? And guys, I'm going to end it there. Hope you've enjoyed this video, the first of 8 that are coming up in the next week alone. So you guys have better subscribe to that button up there, because if you won't get them. Well, unless you are on certain Facebook pages, you will get them. But if you want them first-hand in your YouTube inbox, when you click your YouTube button, you click that subscribe button up there, people, because these videos are going to be damn good. Because I've put a lot of thought into these. Let's hope they do well. And also, guys, if you want to comment on Ryback, anything at all, put it in the comment section down there. You can also like the video as well, and also add me on Skype, like my, bookmark my blog, definitely, and also ask me Q&A questions. I'm doing one when I come back from uni, so you might as well. You might as well throw them at me. Some people have already done it. So yeah, that'll be a December Q&A for anyone who's asking. Also, because you can, like my page on Facebook down there. All will be in the description box. And guys, the next video, which will be Wrestling Rant 59, will be something very topical, because it's happening in half a year's time. It's WrestleMania 29. I'm going to weigh up the possibilities, basically judging what could happen in terms of matches, theme song, Hall of Fame inductees, and the location for WrestleMania 30. Yeah, this is going to be a packed little thing, and it's going to be fun, because I love trying to pick apart the what could happen, what could not happen in the lead up to the biggest pay-per-view of the year. That says something, right? Guys, I have been Cream Crazy, you have been people watching, this has been Wrestling Rant 58 on Ryback, and I will see you tomorrow. I only usually say that for a video I do before a pay-per-view. I'm definitely bending the rules here in regards to my videos. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and hope the weather picks up, because apparently I hear there's going to be some rain coming my way. Not good, especially now we've entered the autumn months. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. I'll see you guys then, and I hope you have a fantastic Sunday night. Also, bit of shameless plugging here. British Fist live stream about Night of Champions and Bound for Glory. Or No Surrender, I think it's No Surrender. Yes, No Surrender with the Bound for Glory series. Check it out on the British Fist channel on YouTube. You can check that out, get involved, ask them questions, do the lot. Because that's what I'm going to be doing now with 10 minutes to go before it happens. Yeah, check the British Fist out if you haven't. And, well, click all the stuff I've already said. See you guys.